All right. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's been a while, but we had a couple scheduling snafus, but we're back on it. So couple things about me. Next Saturday, tomorrow, big day. Last third, fourth grade Pee Wee football game. It's been quite the emotional journey. I believe it reached peak emotional height last Saturday when my son had to be an emergency fill-in homecoming escort. Big deal, huge deal for him. Was not a fan of that. He was very, very reluctant to walk that poor girl down the field, but we got through it. Also, our efficiency on tying cleats through the roof, especially since the start of the season to where we're at now. I mean, it's night and day. Our actual record, we're 1-6, 1-5. So hopefully we're going to end the game on a positive note on Saturday. So that's kind of me on the update on the personal front. Professional. Here's what we got. Next week, we're going to be down in sunny Jacksonville, Florida, with our good friends from Go Ruck at Go Ruck HQ. So we're putting on the first ever Go Ruck and Learn at their HQ. Jason, the owner of Go Ruck, and Whitney and some other folks down there have been very gracious they're a big partner of ours, and they're taking care of our affiliates. So they're going to open up their doors for us on Friday, the 23rd. It's filling up pretty fast. So I think, we've got a good crowd already registered, and it's free, right? So head on over to the MetFix website, click on events, and register for free. We'd love to have you. And here's what's going to happen. So first hour, it's just going to be a ruck on the beach, ruck/workout led by a local cadre down there at Go Ruck. And so that's going to be an hour or so. We'll come back to Go Ruck HQ, and we're going to put on a, kind of a MetFix. What is MetFix? That'll be led by Academy staff. And then I'm going to do a piece talking about MetFix affiliation. And then, literally as we're going through this, we just got another sign up. So, all right, sweet. It's working. So then I'm going to do a piece of, talking about affiliation, benefits, pros, cons, the whole deal. And then Richard Rice will be a little guest speaker for everybody in attendance. And those of you who don't know who Richard Rice is, he's a senior advisor to Go Ruck, but that's kind of the least cool thing about him. He's an OG Tier 1 Delta Force member, started way back in Vietnam, and he's been a part of every kind of major event that Delta's been in for 20, 30 years. And so he's going to give a little guest speak talk to our owners and trainers there. And then we're just going to hang out. That's where I excel at is the bullshitting and hanging out with everybody. And like I said, that event is free for everyone. And then that's next day, that Saturday, Sunday, will be a MetFix Foundation. That'll be at MetFix Jacks. And Greg's going to be there. So that's going to be cool. So Greg will kick that off, doing his broken science piece. And then that'll lead into the foundation seminar. So that's kind of near term what we got going on. And then I think the last US seminar will be in Phoenix, Arizona on November 8th. So that'll be the last chance to register for a seminar in the US. And then we've got the first ever UK seminars led by our good friend Carl over there. And he's, I can't remember the exact dates, but it's a first or second week in December, but you can gobble those up and head on over to those. So that's what we got as far as events goes. And a cool project that we're working on right now, kind of behind the scenes, is we're calling it like a MetFix on-ramp course. And so this course, myself and Pete and a cool kind of development beta test teams from our current affiliates are putting this together. And what it is, it's a think about this as like it's a turnkey 4-week course exclusive to MetFix affiliate owners. And it takes your members through a 4-week metabolic health and nutrition course, right? So this is a package designed exclusively for you guys to be able to offer to your members. And like we have some recommendations on the business plan of it, but it's totally up to you, right? So what you want to charge for it, if you want to offer it for free, that's completely up to you. But we will have a step-by-step course offered online that you can take and then turn around, offer that to your members, right? So we're in the process of developing that, and target date is to have that done by end of November. That way you guys will have it in your toolkits. You can start playing around with it, looking at what's all offered and available for that. And then you can start hyping that up to your members to be able to run the 1st of January if you want. So super proud about that. It's going to be an awesome course, a lot of value added for you guys. And it helps answer the question of once you guys take the foundations course, it's like, okay, well, the next phase is implementation. How do I do this? This course is a great tool that you can take. We've got lecture notes on there. We've got handouts for your people. It'll be all online so your people can track all their data. Integration into Daley Fix on the cooking part of it. Some baseline workout recommendations, the whole thing. So we're pumped for that. All right. So you're probably tired of listening to me run my mouth. So we're gonna get to why we're here. Today's guest is none other than Vicky Willis. So I met Vicky when we invaded the UK on 4th of July. And she was quickly somebody that, I bonded with through the work that she's doing, which we're going to get into here today. But she's the proud owner of MetFix Lifestyle Studio. And, she's built more than a gym. She's built a community there. And in addition to running a gym, running an affiliate, she's founded a mental health charity called Bridging the Gap. And we're going to get into that. Proving that gyms can offer more than just the fitness side of it. And she's a shining example of a MetFix affiliate. And we're proud to bring Vicky to you today. Welcome, Vicky.
Hi, thank you.
What time is it over there, by the way?
4 p.m.-ish, just after.
Well, thank you for making the time. I know we're putting this together and for a while, and everybody's like, you got to have Vicky on the show. You got to have Vicky on the show. You got to have Vicky on the show. So Vicky, you are on the show.
No pressure.
No pressure, right? So let's just kind of dig into how did you get your start owning a CrossFit gym, and then BTG, and now being a MetFix affiliate. Let's just go right into it.
Okay, cool. So I had a proper job, and then back in the day I had a proper job, and very long story short, I got poorly. I developed anxiety and depression, which I'd never had before, and went through the UK healthcare system to try and get better. Didn't get better. Then found CrossFit, and it saved my life. I found the community, I found the people, just went, oh my God, this is awesome. How did I not know about this? Like, how do people not know about this? And then very quickly went from like first class to buying the gym, like real quick. because I was like, I need to do this. I need to do more of it. So yeah, I ended up buying the gym, or co-owning the gym with my now partner, and just ran the gym for a bit, and then realized that I wanted it to be something more and something bigger. And I think that, you know, we were constantly spouting the benefits of CrossFit for your physical health and, you know, functional fitness and everything else. But I was like, mentally, this saved me, and it can save so many other people. And that was how I ended up founding BTG. Mind Matters, which is a mental health charity. And when we first founded the charity, it was basically just helping provide funded places to do CrossFit in the gym that I ran. And we give people 6 weeks of counselling and CrossFit. And then really quickly, I was like, oh, do you know what? Just offering this out of my gym is doing a disservice to people, because there's CrossFit gyms all over the world, especially all over the UK. Like, this needs to be a mainline treatment for mental ill health, right? Counselling and CrossFit is the cure, in my opinion, to everything. And so yeah, we found the charity, went nationwide pretty quick. And that's when I started then looking at, right, there's this kind of message with mental health support where everyone goes, you need to reach out, right? If you're struggling, you need to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of sat back and remembered when I wasn't well, I was like, I didn't feel like reaching out. I wish somebody had reached in. So at that point, I was like, right, where are these people? I know where they are. They're doing what you're supposed to do when you're ill, right? They're going to the doctor. And the problem is, the doctors in the UK, you know, probably all over, they get a 10-minute consult with you. They are limited in what they can do. They like, there's waiting lists. There's not particularly effective treatments for most stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went there and went, hi, I do this, right? And this was just for mental health stuff, because this was just through the charity. And thinking that they would go, oh, well, you're not an official person, you're not you're not a pharmaceutical company. And instead, I found this whole network of things called social prescribers and community hubs. And the fact that actually in this country, especially, the NHS is trying to do preventative medicine. They are trying to do holistic healthcare. They're trying to look at people's whole lives and not just give them drugs, right? And we were inundated, like, really quickly with referrals of these social prescribers going, oh my God, I've got this person, can I send them to you? And yeah, it's just incredible. And so through the charity, I ended up working with GP practices all across the UK. Now, it is important to note, they didn't come with any funding. So the charity was, the fundraising that I do through the charity and through the gyms is how we paid for everything at this point. And that kind of takes along and runs really well. And BTG is incredible. It's run by a team of trustees now. I still work for the charity. My gyms still take referrals from the charity and through
Mm-hmm.
everything else. And then that was kind of how I then, so I've got the CrossFit gym, which is great, runs really well. I've then got BTG, which is the charity that I founded and was sending me these clients in. And that's when I kind of found MetFix, because I realized that I love healthcare, right? I want to work in healthcare. I want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And the mental health charity is obviously very mental health focused. And then I was like, there almost needs to be, I want this, I want somewhere for people with diabetes and hypertension and obesity issues and all that as well. I don't want this to just be a mental health thing. So that was how we ended up becoming a MetFix affiliate. So we have our main CrossFit gym on one side, and then our MetFix affiliate in a little studio on the other side. And then I was like, right, well, if I did this for mental health stuff, surely I can do it for physical health stuff as well. So I'll just go back to the GPs and back. And this is where, like, it's important to know, I got told, like, no a lot of times. I sent a lot of emails that went unanswered. I made a lot of phone calls that nobody picked up, right? And eventually I've realized sometimes the best thing you can do is physically walk in and kind of just say, hi, I'm Vicky. I run a local MetFix affiliate. This is what we do. Because I think this is really important. We know, right, that what we do is great. But other people don't know that necessarily. And also, there's a lot of not great places out there. So these doctors and these, nurses and social prescribers and healthcare workers are a bit nervous to just say to someone, oh, go to the gym. Because what if they go to absolutely no disrespect to bodybuilding gyms or
Right.
transformation gyms or whatever, but if they send 80-year-old Doris down to the local bodybuilding gym, that it's not appropriate for where she's at. So you've got to go in and get your face known, let them know what you do, how you do it. And something that works really well for us is we have a GP referral form, right? That's all it is. And it's basically that, say somebody's in a meeting with their healthcare worker and they're struggling to get their medication right or something else, they can sit and fill in a form to apply to come to the studio, and it feels really official, right? And the healthcare worker can fill it out with them. They now feel like the healthcare worker's confident sending them to us because she knows what we do. She knows, she's seen our results, etc., etc. So she can sit with them and do a referral. And that way, when that referral comes in, I know that it's come from the doctor's surgery. So I know that client is going to have health issues, comorbidities, things like that. And it's just opened a pathway for them to come in. So that's how we start doing it, right? So, and you've got to appreciate with these clients that they're coming, they're paying clients, right? And some of them are not going to be financially lucrative clients, right? That 8-year-old Doris is retired, she's living on a pension, yeah. But what happened with us was, so we've been doing this for a while now, and obviously I've built this rapport, I've built this relationship. And then we sort of got approached because actually there are pots of funding, right? And normally funding in our healthcare system is reserved for drugs and trials and whatever. But they sort of came to us and said, we want to do this community project. It's called Change for Health, where we help people through diet and exercise. If they're obese, some of the markers that we've got to look at are like obesity and things. And they said, there's this pot of funding, do you want it, and can we work with you? And I was like, wow, it's like it's finally happened. There it is. There's the funding that goes with it. So all right,
let me stop you there because I have so many questions.
Sorry.
No, you're good. That was perfect.
Ask me.
Help just from a very general overview, because our healthcare systems aren't similar, yeah. Right? So for our U.S. Audience here, explain to me how. All right, so for the end goal is they get to you, right, in some capacity, whether it was on the mental health side, but now you're working on the physical health side, and that's what your MetFix is kind of focusing on. But how does I was trying to think of a British name, but I'll just go with John Smith. How does John Smith enter it's NHS, right? Or is it NIH?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does John Smith, he's obese, type 2 diabetic. How does he enter the system? And then it funnels down to you. And I'm getting me a coffee, so please go.
Okay. So he's going to call his GP because he's got a blood pressure issue or getting headaches or whatever it is. So in the UK, he's going to call his GP and ask for an appointment. And he's going to get an appointment with his doctor, and he's going to go in with his doctor, and his doctor is going to have not even 10-minute slot with this guy.
Yep.
And this is the other thing. Like, I am very, very pro doctors and pro healthcare because, I hate it. People go, oh, doctors just prescribe drugs. What else do you want them to do in 10 minutes? Right. Like, this guy's on the edge of a heart attack. This doctor is not a PT. They're not, they've got no control over the other 168 hours in a week this guy has. They've got 10 minutes. They're going to have to do something. So what he's going to do is he's going to go in and see his GP, and his GP is going to say, right, your blood pressure is out of control. Your weight isn't great. This is what we'd recommend. Now, what happens here quite a lot is if John Smith might just go, great, give me the blood pressure medication, see you later. He goes away, picks up his prescription, he's gone. But what they are trying to do now is would refer him to a social prescriber, okay, So he's then got another appointment with a social prescriber who then goes, right, we've got these community initiatives that can help you. So you can, right, you've got path A where you go away and you take these blood pressure drugs, and it starts a cascade of, it's going to manage the symptoms of your blood pressure, but then because of that, you're going to have to take this medication and that medication. And, you know, we've all seen where that goes.
And that social prescriber, would that be similar to what we would call a licensed social worker here?
Yeah, probably similar
Okay.
sort of thing. They work out the doctor's surgeries. Their job is kind of to be connected to the initiatives that are going on in the community.
Gotcha. Right.
And things like that. And they have access to some funding and the pots of the things that are going on. Okay.
Yep.
And so the social prescriber then also says to John Smith, there's actually a Change for Health program going on at the minute, where we fill this form in online, and then Vicky from the local MetFix affiliate is going to get in touch with you, and you're going to go down and you're going to do some sessions with her, and she's going to talk to you about nutrition, and hopefully using your medication plus these lifestyle changes, we're going to get your blood pressure under control, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah.
My bit is kind of optional, you know, that's the bigger picture, but some people aren't receptive to it.
Yeah.
But we're seeing now more and more people, I think, are getting receptive to it, and they are going, right, okay, but the bigger picture is I take this blood pressure medication, but that doesn't fix it, does it? That just hides the symptom. It doesn't fix the root cause. And so we are getting now these more and more referrals that are coming through who are going, my GP actually said you were running this MetFix thing. What is it? Or can I have more info? Or, you know, it's happening.
Gotcha. Okay. So John Smith is sick, chronic disease. He goes, and obviously this is all taxpayer funded, right? That's how the NHS works.
Until they get to me. Now, this is what you got to remember. At the point he gets to me, a couple of months ago, there was no funding, right?
So what actually works isn't funded.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. Well, it wasn't, but it is now. This is the thing.
Okay,
we're
great.
Driving change slowly. You have to be willing, right? I just care, right, about helping people. And I am the worst business person in the world. Okay. I'm terrible. I literally, every penny of profit that I make in my affiliate just goes back into giving free membership and community funding and everything. Just like, it is what it is. I'm terrible at business. Don't ever ask me for advice on business. But basically, so if you imagine at the point John Smith gets to me, right, his doctor's referred him to me, and maybe he goes, okay, and I tell him about what we do, and I say, look, it normally costs £200 for this program, and he says, oh, well, you know, because Brits aren't very used to paying for healthcare, we get it all free. So when I then go, oh, well, what I do costs £200, they sometimes are a bit like, oh, I can't afford that. Now, I take people at face value, and if they tell me they can't afford it, I kind of go, cool, well, come anyway, because the class is running anyway, right? The class is on anyway. Might as well come to it. Like, you know. And it's so interesting what happens though, because some people cannot afford it. Some people can't find the money until they come for a bit, and then they realize it makes them feel better. They go back to their GP who says, oh, you don't need that medication now. They get into a healthy weight range. They feel better mentally, etc., etc. And then we do a pay what you can thing with a lot of these people. And what starts off as I can't pay anything, the next thing they're paying £10 a week. The next thing they're paying the full membership, and they're members forevermore. So it's kind of I'm not advising gym owners to go away and just give free memberships to everyone, but it's worked really well for me, and it's something that I run my businesses to make profit. Obviously, I pay my mortgage, etc. But there are some clients who it just feels like the right thing to do, and I love doing it.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think why else do we do it, right? Like we genuinely.
I don't think you're alone there. Yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty about having the autonomy, the independence to be able to run your own business, is you do it how you see fit, and then you know, if that margin's 5% or if that margin's 80%, that's up to you and what and really what satisfies you as the owner. So
Yeah.
And
And to be clear, like now, so obviously I've done that for a little while, and then now I've been approached with a pot of funding with someone who went, we work for the local, it's the local community, it's called CHOC, Community Hut, oh God, I should know what it's called. The CHOC, right? Community Hair Care Hub or something. And they basically went, we've got this pot of money, we'd like you to be the ones to deliver it. Because this is the thing that getting yourself out there and known is really important for. This is the conversation I had with the lady, was they are given, this community hub is given this pot of money by central government, right, to make people healthier. And so what they are sometimes inclined to do is go away and try to put together a health and nutrition program to deliver. I'm like, why are you trying to do that? I do that every day. Just pay me to do it. And she went, oh yeah, that's a really good idea. Thank you. Give me your money. I will make people better. And it's just open that communication and be known. Like we think our gym is the center of our universe, right? And we assume everyone knows where it is, and we assume everyone knows what we do. And they don't know we're here. They don't know what we do. And you only have to, when you're in this space and you see other MetFix affiliate or the CrossFit affiliates, you think this is what gyms are. There's a whole load of gyms out there that don't run the way we do.
Yeah. We unfortunately we're the uncommon ones.
Exactly. So you've got to let people know that you're here, and let them know that, like, you also, this is really important as well, you have to, if you want to be treated like a healthcare provider, you have to run like one. And I think that is something. So my partner, who ran the CrossFit gym before I took it over, was running it very like spit and sawdust is how he describes it. No risk assessments, no GDPR policy, no safeguarding policy. If you want to start going for these healthcare contracts, you do have to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Okay, so I love that. I love that quote in that saying. So help us understand what that looks like for you.
Yeah, so for us, it's very different what each kind of person, each funder or each organization that you're going to work with is going to ask for. But I would hope that most gyms are running in this way. I just know through my work with BTG that there's a few that aren't. It is like the things I listed of just do you know the right person to talk to about this? If you could get Rachel Steadman on, Carl Steadman's wife, she is everything for this. She does our compliance, basically. We use a Ellipsis affiliate system. She manages all of our dots and crosses, right? She makes sure we're right. And it is things like safeguarding policies, because if you're working with someone and they, disclose something to you that's really worrying, you just have to know how to deal with stuff. You have to run. If you imagine how a doctor's surgery runs or how a hospital runs, we are, I believe, knowledge-wise, we are up there, right? We're right up there. We're delivering healthcare, like really, really quality, life-changing, life-saving healthcare. And there's some gyms out there doing it who don't own a fire extinguisher in the building. I'm like, you are changing lives. Put some fire extinguishers in, or like get a safeguarding policy or a health. Like, where's your health and safety policy? Like, it is just that sort of thing. You do need to be able to run.
Yeah,
and if someone asks to see stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to make fun of my friends. The Clark boys down in North Carolina. And I'm a lot like it. Like, hey man, I got insurance and I got a waiver. Like that's about the extent of my paperwork and my administrative load, and that's where I want it to be.
Yeah.
However, and I've gone through this on some other business endeavors, contracting with the government. Like, if you want to get into that lane, and not even government, but in the States, probably more on the insurance side, you're gonna have to put your big boy pants on.
Yeah. Or pay someone else to do it for you, right?
Well, that's what I was gonna say, and you brought that up through Rachel and in the service she runs, is like, hey, if you don't, Brian's commenting. Hey, I'm also getting text from him. Love you, buddy. But if you want to play that game, like there's going to be some additional administrative work alongside with it, and contract that out. You don't have
exactly.
to do it. There's
And
people
that's,
who love to do that.
That's if you want to start playing like the big boys game, which is kind of where I'm pushing towards now, because in the UK, I'm like, I obviously have a problem where I can't just not do things to a ridiculous level. It's an issue. I'm aware of this, but I can't just have a contract with my local GP surgery. I'm like, right, NHS UK wide, how do we get every single affiliate in the UK? Like, it's a problem, right? But that's a me problem because I have that. What is important to know is don't be put off. Still, even if you don't feel like you want to go, all the dots and crosses and whatever, still approach the GP surgeries, right? Because when I started BTG, the thing that I said was, if I can save one person's life, right, I have changed the world by saving one person's life. So even if you reach out to your local GP surgery and all they do is like you put a poster up in there, right, on their notice board to say that your poster could literally say, are you struggling with diabetes, type 2 diabetes? We can help, right? And you get one person that comes in. You have changed the world just by doing that.
It's funny you mentioned the poster. I proudly, knock on wood, have not been inside of a hospital or urgent care or ER in I don't know how many decades. My wife is a nurse practitioner in the emergency room. So anyway, my parents getting older, blah, 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 blah. So I took my mom to a whatever routine health check. And, sitting down in there, the nurse comes in, gets the vitals. And then I look over on the wall and it's a digital billboard. It's a digital billboard. And every 3 to 5 seconds is a new ad for whatever drug.
Yeah.
And I was like, of course. Like, it should be illegal.
Yeah. But I mean, have you asked the question, do you want your advert there? Have you tried putting your advert in there? You don't know until you ask, do you? Like, at the end, I've realized this. Do you know what I am? In the same way, so my sister is a drugs rep. So she goes and she's actually creams, but she goes into hospitals, right? And there's nothing stopping us doing that, right? We are a business trying to sell a product, a healthcare product. There is nothing stopping you trying to get an appointment with the local nurse practitioner to sell your product to them. They can choose whether or not to refer into it. They can choose they could even choose to assign budget to pay for it if they want to. Like, this is how this works. In the same way that I can go in and sell statins to them, or sell a cream, or sell a bandage, I can go in and sell my service and they can choose whether or not to buy into it. You just have to be a bit brave. And
they're in the States, especially where I'm at, I typically make fun of pharmacy sales reps because they're like, they're the former prom queens who graduate and then don't know what they're going to do with their life.
So my sister's like this much taller and her legs come all the way up to here and she's blonde and so beautiful. So
so they go work for big pharma and sell their drugs with like zero understanding or background in pharmacology or medicine. But they're effective. They're effective. And so we want to get in that arena. We should probably start thinking about ourselves as a metabolic health rep. Like
sales reps.
You can rage against the system all you want, or you can
get in,
or you can beat them at their game. That's a good point.
Yeah, unfortunately, I always say this because I've always said this about BTG and the healthcare we provide. The right people don't make enough money out of what we do. So we're always going to be slightly up against it. Unless we're at the point where we start giving kickbacks to the right people, then we're always going to be on a back foot. And also, our way is harder. This is the thing. What we are offering isn't easy. It's hard, and people don't always want that.
Yeah, and I just realized I alienated my entire pharmacy sales rep audience. So they went that sponsorship down the drain.
No. My sister's also, she is actually a nurse, so she does have qualification in the subject, but it's the same thing, she's a sales rep. That's what she does.
Yeah, it is what it is. And I'm not gonna go up on my soapbox about pain pills and Oxycontin and how that whole thing ruined my area. But a large part of that was through the sales reps that went right to the doctors and convinced them through whatever means that you know, heroin.
I think we're just a few years behind, and again, we're talking like big picture, because that's the way I am. I'm big picture. But for little, you know, for small affiliates out there, just this is the strongest message I can give is just go and tell your GP surgery what you do your doctor's surgery, whoever. Be a sales rep, right? Go be a sales rep for the metabolic fix that you provide. Tell them. They're not straight away. They're not just going to go, oh, awesome, we're going to buy your product. Here's £1 million. They're not going to do that. But what they might do is be like, okay, well, I'll send John Smith in. You know, next time he's in, he's always coming in moaning. He's moaning that, you know, he gets all these side effects. How about we send John Smith in? And then they send John Smith to you. And the next time John Smith goes back to them, he's like, amazing. That place is so good. This is better. That's better. And then before you know it, you're getting a stream of clients off them. Some of them are paying clients, some of them aren't. That's the twos and fro's of it. And then the next thing you know, they're approaching you with a pot of money that they go, can I pay you to do this?
Yeah. And here's the thing, guys. It's and this is going off of a comment. Like, I've wondered what it takes to mess with an insurance company, but I'm also afraid to know. So here's something that we had success with, that you can be a subcontractor to a prime contractor, and that prime contractor has the insurance contract, right? So what I'm saying is, you can find yourself in a situation to where you don't even need to work directly with that insurance provider. You can work with their contractor. And so, for example, you know, here in the States, a lot of the behavioral health addiction treatment centers, especially in rural, low-income areas, are it's taxpayer funded. Essentially, is what it's going to come down to. And their job is to be able to bill legally and in accordance with insurance standards. But they're getting to understand that health and fitness is a great alternative therapy for people who are in treatment. So all we did was, through a current existing relationship at my gym with somebody who was going to be on the general legal counsel for that organization, he knew the power of health and fitness for his recovery. And so we developed the contractual relationship that way. And all we did was we figured out a pay per class model, and it's way easier to contract with the company that's working with insurance instead of you going directly to the insurance itself. So there's all kinds of ways to skin the cat, if you will. But it takes the ability to be uncomfortable, to go have those conversations, to go have those. And that's all pitches are, really. They're just conversations.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's it.
Well, and two, it's who you know, because you've already established trust with that individual.
Yep.
And I tell folks this all the time. Within your current affiliate, especially if you're in a smaller community, you're connected to everyone 2 to 3 degrees of separation. And so they know you. If you're doing the right things for the right reasons for the right people, doing a great job of it, it's less work it's going to take you to convince somebody else, because you've already built that trust. So that's a good point.
Yeah. Just got to be brave. Got to go have the conversation. It's the confidence, right? It's the confidence to know, like, this stuff, you know it, right? You see it every day in your affiliate. You are changing lives. The stuff you sell is more effective than anything that comes in a packet. It is literally priceless. I put a reel on this the other day to say, if I could just bottle and sell the effects that this affiliate has on people's lives, it's literally priceless. I should be the richest person in the world. And so I go with that confidence. I go into pitches with that confidence. I go in and I'm like, I have this thing and it is absolutely incredible. Do you want in? And then we get there. And like you said before, about the subcontracting, I'm not contracted by central government. So central government have given this money to someone and they are subcontracting me to deliver.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to central government.
No. Yeah. I agree. Until it's worth it. Until it's worth it.
Just watch this space.
For sure. For sure. Okay. So let's talk more. Help me understand, like, and this is what, I would say 80-90% of our affiliates, they're CrossFit affiliates as well. And we're beginning more and more to slowly kind of introduce MetFix programs inside of CrossFit gyms. So can you kind of help me understand and visualize what that looks like at your place?
Okay. So
We're just getting serious. You put the hair behind. Get ready.
Be really honest here.
Yeah.
I am very lucky. So I have, if you follow us on social media, you'll see we basically have two sides to our gym. And one side is this absolutely awesome CrossFit gym. And it's big, and it's got high ceilings, and it's got ropes, and it's got rings, and it's got a rig, and it's got, everything in it. And it's so cool. And to me, it feels like home. I walk in there and I'm like, I love this place.
Yeah.
But I kind of realized that for Doris, right, when Doris walks in and there's rings and ropes and a rig, Doris is a bit like, oh.
Doris is pissing her pants. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So basically the unit next to our unit came up for rent. And I was like, I think I'm going to do it, right? I'm going to open that. And we called it, our CrossFit gym is called Fierce Spirit. And initially we were like, it's going to be a little less fierce, right? That was kind of it. Okay, because all the whooping and cheering and everything that makes CrossFit so cool,
right,
is also what makes Doris piss her pants, right?
Yeah.
So we opened that and we started it and we called it the Lifestyle Studio, because even though we've always been a CrossFit methodology gym, we've never been like a sport gym. We've always been a methodology gym. Even that's really hard when you've got people who've been doing CrossFit for 10 years. Them guys are fit. Like, them guys and girls are strong and fit, right? So we opened it as a separate thing, because I know that you love your affiliate and you think your affiliate is inclusive to everyone. But as someone who, I had my little boy and then put 5 stone in weight on, and being in a much bigger body and not being fit, even though that was my home, it was intimidating, right? It's hard. So we actually created a whole separate space for people who are older, who are not able-bodied, who are in bigger bodies. And we called it the Lifestyle Studio. We called it something different. The lesson plan is just slightly different. The group sizes are smaller. It has a lower ceiling. The music isn't as loud. We don't drop the barbells. It just had a different vibe to it, to be a bit less fierce, right?
Yeah.
And I know not everyone is in that position to have a whole separate space, but just understanding. And the other thing as well is, like, our marketing is different. You've got to understand, like, when I was in a bigger body, I wanted to see other people with my body type doing the stuff you're telling me that you want me to do, but the only person I can see doing it is Mark with his 6-pack. Like, that doesn't relate to me. Or you're saying you want 9-year-old Doris to come in, but where is she on your social media? Where is she in your marketing? And so we created this whole separate space for it. And then obviously affiliated with MetFix, because it just aligns with the whole healthcare thing that we wanted to do. And I think you can absolutely integrate MetFix into a CrossFit affiliate and help those, different populations. You just need to be really, really, like, take a step back out of the bubble that you are so comfortable in and really just think about, is this inclusive? How am I making it inclusive? What does my marketing look like? What does my social media say about us? Is there set times that you can maybe make it not necessarily a new person? You couldn't have a plus size only class, but just making sure that it is inclusive in every aspect of what you do. Because I know I've been there where you think, my affiliate's really friendly. What do you mean you don't want to come? It's dead inclusive. We're a community. And then someone's there snatching 100 kilos. Like, oh, it's not that inclusive.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you're kind of echoing a lot of what our folks are saying. Is it's by offering, as the owner, you have the ability to do whatever you want to do. And exactly. I would say for the majority of our folks, CrossFit classes, constantly varied high intensity functional movement is their bread and butter. That's what they fell in love with. That's what they're great at. And that's what they offer, because it works, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. That's the beauty of what Greg created.
And that's what we're doing, right? We're doing that in the
Yeah.
studio. We're just
Yeah.
dressing it up slightly differently.
Yeah, 100%. But, you know, Greg also being the co-founder of MetFix really kind of understood the importance of that will only take you so far, for so long. So you really, and to go after the people who really need it the most, may have to adopt a different approach.
Yeah.
To go get those folks. And that approach essentially is, let's just call it more of a sit down educational academic. And then we'll kind of sprinkle in the fitness on the tail end.
Yeah.
Versus leading with the snatching and the muscle ups and the whole thing, to start with, and being like, hey, we're going to front load. We're going to talk about a little bit more about your food and try to instill that.
Yeah.
We can always teach you how to squat. That's not going to be the problem. But we're going to get more bang for our buck if we kind of take a longer approach.
Especially when you're looking at it from a health point of view and making people realize that the stuff they're doing in the gym with us is 3 hours a week, right? And don't get me wrong, I can change someone's life with 3 hours a week, but what will change more of their life is it's a really cool statistic about how many food choices you make every day. Like if you're influencing those choices and the sleep choices, the food choices, the consumption choices, you know, that's where you change lives, like there. And so kind of not being afraid to have that conversation, you know, to throw it into it's part and parcel of all of it. So one of like the key things that we're talking to people about when we are before a MetFix class is like, what have you eaten today? You know, have you fueled for this class, or have you slept? Like, I'm just so much more confident and comfortable having those conversations in the MetFix side, because one of my coaches is doing her master's degree in nutrition, and she sat down with one of my other coaches to do some like you know, coach development type stuff. And my younger coach said, you know, this MetFix stuff, it seems really cool, but like, I just think it's not something I'm going to worry about until I'm like 50. I was just like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
She's like, well, I just want to eat sandwiches all day, every day at the minute because I'm like 25 and I can. Just like, oh, God, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah. Like, you know, now finding myself being the old guy in the room a lot. I kind of liken this to, you know, investing, right?
Yes.
When I was in the military, a young officer, all of my mentors and bosses were like, listen, here's what you need to do. Like, this is the most important thing you can do now. Put in, you know, save as much as you can, put it in these funds. And I was like, whatever, dude. That paycheck's coming every 2 weeks, brother. And I'm burning it down. But I wish I had started, you know, a little bit more of a financial literacy education earlier on. It's the same thing with health. It's the same thing with metabolic health education.
Yeah.
You know, you can't burn it down. You can try. And quite honestly, like, I find myself still trying to outtrain a mediocre diet. But the sooner you can realize, hey man, it's going to be a little easier on you and better for you in the long run if you just kind of pay attention to more what you eat.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if other affiliates, so we're an 11-year-old CrossFit affiliate.
Yeah.
And those guys that were with us right at the start, okay, who've done high intensity Forge and Elite Fitness, they're all just hitting this point, and it's almost like we kind of, I think we're just gradually, they're all kind of going, so it turns out if you do this CrossFit stuff and don't look after your sleep and nutrition, it gets a bit wear and tear. And it's like, yeah, well, the thing was, the CrossFit methodology was always the whole lot. We just kind of, Carl said it really well, didn't he, in London? He was like, who else just ignored the bottom, to the top with the rest of it. Yeah, so it's a really great conversation. I feel so educated and empowered to have those conversations, even with my CrossFitters now, where I'm going, yeah, do you know, actually, if you're 20, 30, 40, MetFix is for you, because it's the other 99% of stuff, right? The fitness that you come in here, it's 1 hour of your day.
Yep.
The MetFix that we're doing and teaching them about, and I've still got a few that are going to be tough to turn around because I'm
Sure.
like, I need carbs.
Well, yeah.
I need
Well, the
loads of
thing
carbs
is,
to do what I do, and fine.
Yep, 100%. And all we're trying to get people to understand is, by offering a MetFix program at your gym, you're put 2 classes on the schedule a week, or 1 a week, or whatever that is. And that class is just an opportunity for people to come in and for you to teach them about nutrition and metabolic health.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And our job as MetFix is to provide the educational tools, courses, and resources to the owners to have an unbelievable library to offer that to their members.
Yeah.
All it is just more tools in the tool bag in the toolkit to increase impact in your gym. And
we use our MetFix for all of our basically special populations, nutrition, lifestyle. That's why it's called the Lifestyle Studio, right? That is what the MetFix studio is literally for us. It's the other 99% of people and the other 99% of your time, and that's why it's so busy and so good. And actually, it's a really great feeder into the CrossFit gym. Actually, for us, it works really well because we call them gateway classes, or people call them gateway drugs, but gateway classes, where you get someone in to talk to them about type 2 diabetes or about nutrition, and the next thing you're like, well, why don't you come and try a class? And then they're in a class, and then they're a full-time member, and then it works really well. It's the gateway, like whatever feels relatable for people is what helps get them in the door.
Yeah. And so, I mentioned it at the top of the show. I sound like such a douchebag when I say top of the show. Anyways, at the top of the show, we're developing a MetFix on-ramp, and that's exactly what it is. So it is a 4-week course that you'll be able to provide to your members. So they'll be able to log in, and there's certain data endpoints that we recommend people track. Because we want you guys to be able to have that data collection point as well. So you can say in 18 months from now or whatever, hey, of 750 people that's taken the MetFix on-ramp, we have an average weight loss of X pounds or stone, if you will. And
kilos, we do kilos.
Yeah, okay. I like stones better. I'm just going to refer to my body weight in stones because no one knows what it is.
That sounds fair. That'd be me if I did pounds, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it sounds way better. Anyways, so they can show, hey, everybody that's gone through this program is lost X amount of kilos or pounds, and they've reduced their blood pressure by X percentage, et cetera, et cetera. But this course is a template for folks that they can go into our resource library, download, and pass out to their members. So we're really kind of pumped on that. So that it doesn't eliminate, it speeds up the process of MetFix implementation, the MetFix program implementation at gyms. So we're really, really pumped about that.
I love that you've done that, because one of the first things, not the first things, but it took me so long to do. I wanted to create a beginner's guide to CrossFit to give to people that were starting, right? Like a whole booklet of just all the words and all of everything, and made that. But it took me a long time, right? And now I want a beginner's guide to MetFix, right?
Yep.
But if you've done it, I am a happy girl, because it took me a long time to make that resource. And as an affiliate, that's what makes me feel valued as an affiliate. When you're like, here you go, I made this for you. I'm like, thank you so much, because I am a busy girl. And actually, if you've made a on-ramp to MetFix for me that I can just print out and give to members, that is awesome.
And like I said, it's a 4-week course, and we're just recommending people meet up. Let's just throw some bullshit stuff out there, but meet up at 9 a.m. every Saturday for the first 4 Saturdays in January. And each lesson builds upon the previous one, and the members actually have homework to do in between that. Cool. And it's designed for Joe Smith off the street. So you can market this to somebody who's never been to your gym before, and it's also you can market it to the people who want it to kind of dial and focus more in on their nutrition. And I'm really excited about the tech aspect of it, because it's going to, our focus, like I said, is to be able to collect that data from the beginning.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, I wish we had that information 3 years ago when we started that. And then the cool thing is, you know, a lot of folks, I referred to the top of the show, and now I'm going to sound like an even bigger douchebag, but as the head of affiliates, like, I'm a fucking gym owner too, right? I'm an affiliate owner. So I'm trying to steer the direction is like, this is what people want. And these are the tools.
How do I do it? How do I give it to my members?
But then the cool thing is all the founding affiliates from this year, we look at them as kind of like co-developers. Just because I have a great idea, they're like, well, yeah, but this would be better. So we kind of have this like little cohort of 10, 12 people that are developing this course who are actual affiliate owners too. So we're really kind of pumped to get this going. Well, we're getting towards the end. I know it's getting close. This kind of flew by.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't talk too much.
And I didn't. No. Like, I didn't even get into all the shit I wanted to get into. I probably should stop cussing. I don't know if like YouTube's gonna ding us for this, but that'll be Paulina's fault.
Feel free to give my email out if anyone wants to message me for help, advice.
Actually, just go ahead and throw it out there now.
It's hello@thelifestylestudio.org.
Perfect.
I think I need to double check that. I'm sure that's.
If not, just
I have so many emails. I have so many hats.
No. Put it in the comments. We'll make sure folks get it.
Yeah. Just do it, right? Like, literally, you cannot. We want to help sick people. Go where the sick people are. Go get them and tell them you can save their lives, because you really can. Like, what you are doing is so cool. Go and help them. They don't know you're there.
Yeah, Connor, clip that. So that we're gonna. That's a great line. All right. Well, I'm not gonna we're gonna end on a good rep. So
okay.
I don't think
you.
No. So I'm gonna have you back, right? So
yeah.
What next time I have you back? Here's kind of what I want you to think. It's like I want you to be able to hey, here's the top 5 things you can do right away.
Okay.
And then we'll just get right into it. Right. We've done the obligatory background. We've gotten to know you. Next time we're gonna go rip the Band-Aid off and put you right on the, because my greatest power is I'm a great delegator. I hate to do the work, so I find.
Shall I go away and write a beginner's guide to healthcare, like how to integrate with healthcare systems?
ChatGPT. Yeah.
ChatGPT doesn't know how to do this. I'm telling you.
There you go. Well, now's our chance. Vicky, thank you.
You are so welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, also, you've lost an incredible amount of weight.
Yes.
Even since when I saw you in July, where are we at?
Yeah. So, but
you don't mind
this
me
is
asking,
something.
sorry.
No, I don't, because I talk to people about this all the time, right? I started off with calorie counting, doing it the old-fashioned way, calorie deficit, everything else. And I got to the point about 18 months in where I was like, I would rather be fat than carry on doing this, because I am so hungry and I am so sick of this. And the mental exhaustion of counting calories every single day for nearly 2 years. And it works. Don't get me wrong, it works. Calorie deficit, yeah, it works. And then I started MetFix, right? And basically, the thing is, it turns out if you eat whole foods, proper foods, you won't overeat them, right? If you cut the processed shite out of your diet, you literally won't overeat them, and you will be a normal sized, normal health person. Yeah, I had my little boy and founded a charity and ran 2 gyms and did everything and just lost myself a bit. I was using food as a coping mechanism. I always say about, people going about big pharma. I'm like, it's big food. Big food are the real villains here. They are who fund big pharma, right? And I just fell in the trap. And even though I was working in a CrossFit gym and I was incredibly strong, I was just Olympic weightlifting at the time, yeah, I ended up just knowing that it wasn't healthy, didn't want to be there. So calorie counted, got exhausted, was completely burnt out with it. And then, yeah, found MetFix and just eat what I want now, as long as it's within the kind of boundaries of whole food and prioritize my fat. Like I always say this, you don't eat a steak, do you? And be like, I could eat 4 more of those. You don't do it. Like, you have a steak and you're full. So
Yeah.
it's pretty, and a lot of my female, this is really, really important to me. A lot of my female clients who have been victims of diet culture for a long time are like, this whole way of eating feels like a big cue to diet culture, because we are eating fat. We're eating the foods we were told we were not allowed to eat, and we feel incredible on it. And as a woman who has been on a diet since the age of about 10, like, to be able to eat cheese and butter and steak and, you know, whatever I want is just life changing.
Yeah. Meat
That's a
fix.
whole,
Yeah.
so that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But I recommend it. This is why I'm so passionate about MetFix, because it's changed my life as well.
Awesome. Vicky, thank you.
Thank
You
you.
have a weekend as wonderful as you are, and
Thank
we'll have you back on.
Okay.
All right, everybody, do something. Break a sweat this weekend. Have fun. Get after it. Hope to see a lot of you guys next Friday in Jacksonville, Florida. Also, programming note, Tuesday, we will have the Gandalf Gray of MetFix, Hollis himself, proud owner of Santa Cruz. MetFix has been around since 1930s. He's going to come on the show, and can't wait to pick his brain some more. So everybody have a good weekend. We'll see you next week.